Soon, I'm going to flip this tassel. With that one move, I'll mark one of the biggest accomplishments in my life.
It represents success on and off the field.
It represents years of study, hours in labs, and tests.
He changes my life. He changes my future.
It's laughter. It's tears. It's everything.
I thank my friends and family.
I thank my mentors.
I thank my professors.
I thank you. Thank you for believing in me.
And thank you for believing in TAMIU.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Texas A&M International University's Spring Commencement Exercises. At this time, please silence your cell phones. Commencement ceremonies are unique to higher education and celebrate a momentous occasion for universities and their graduates. Many symbols used throughout the ceremony trace their origin. Now, please rise and welcome Texas A&M International University's Academic Assembly. The procession is led by the oldest of academic traditions, the university mace and the university flag. The TAMIU ceremonial mace is a highly ornamented staff of wood bearing the names and tenure of each of the university's presidents. It is topped with the university seal and surrounded by oak and laurel leaves and represents the university's courage, wisdom, victory, and honor. Today's mace bearer is Dr. Lola Norris, President of the Faculty Senate. The position of University Mace Bearer is one of the highest honors granted to the faculty and is symbolic of the defense of scholarly pursuits and academic freedom. The mace precedes the President and other distinguished guests and represents the strength of the university. It is present at all ceremonial functions of the university and signifies the President's authority. The flags of the Texas A&M University System and Texas A&M International University enter the procession in flanking positions slightly behind the mace. The flags are representative of the entire university community and embody the responsibility to protect and defend its academic mission. The position of the university flag bearer is one of the highest honors granted to members of the professional administrative staff. Today's flag bearers are Ms. Gloria Sanchez and Ms. Rocio Garcia, Vice President and Treasurer of the Staff Senate. As the stage party enters the arena, note the different styles, shapes, and colors making up their robes and headwear. These items, known as regalia, are designed to show the individual's status within the academic community. Those who have achieved a doctoral degree, the highest degree awarded in academia, have the most detailed of regalia: gowns trimmed in velvet, a velvet tam or cap, with a short tassel and a long velvet hood, which drapes down the back and whose colors mark the wearer's degree and institution from which the degree was awarded. Full regalia details and their significance are outlined in the electronic program. The most significant academic regalia is that worn by the President. The President's regalia signifies his status as the highest-ranking member of the university community. The President's robe reflects this with its maroon stole and 4 maroon velvet bars on the sleeves, the most of any university scholar or administrator. The gold medallion worn around the President's neck with its maroon and white silk ribbon is a gift from the Texas A&M University System Board of Regents to represent the governing board's authority when they cannot be present and the sacred trust they place in our leader. Today's degree candidates are led by representatives of our academic colleges and schools. Each of them will be introduced shortly. Derived from medieval times, the banners represent the different academic functions of the university. In addition to the banner bearer, each college is also led by a faculty marshal and a student marshal. Those who hold these positions epitomize scholarly success and achievement within the college or school. Each banner represents the authority of the university and the responsibility for each college or school of academic specialization. The field of maroon, accented with lettering and piping of silver, is the visual representation of the university in the community. These colors play an important role in identifying our candidates for degree as members of this academic community. Unique to TAMIU is our heritage as an international university, and we are very proud of the diverse backgrounds and nation members of our academic community. The flags represented in the procession celebrate the countries of the degree candidates in today's ceremony, who will take a place of honor shortly. The flags already on stage represent all of the nations comprising the TAMIU global community since our founding in 1970. Mr. President, today's members of the Academic Assembly, Mr. President, today's members of the Academic Assembly are in place. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in congratulating and welcoming today's assembly of the Texas A&M International University academic community. And now, please welcome to the podium Dr. Thomas R. Mitchell, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs.
Thank you. Please be seated. Just a reminder, please turn off your cell phones or put them on vibrate. Thank you. Good afternoon. I want to welcome you to Texas A&M International University's 2019 Spring Commencement Ceremony. By the end of the ceremony, the largest spring graduating class in the history of Texas A&M International will have received their degrees and become proud TAMIU alumni, a total of 794 students. Round of applause. During this ceremony, the College of Arts and Sciences will graduate 424 students. The A.R. Sanchez Jr. School of Business will graduate 166 students. The College of Education will graduate 119 students. The College of Nursing and Health Sciences will graduate 54 students, and University, a popular college, and University College will graduate 31 students. As is our tradition, we will now present the flags of the nations that are represented in this afternoon's graduating class. As each flag is introduced, will the graduating students from that country who are in attendance today please rise and remain standing. Albania. Australia, the Bahamas, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, India, Mongolia, Nigeria, the Philippines, Spain, Uruguay, Mexico, and the United States of America. Presenting the United States flag are the TAMIU students in the Army Reserve Officers Training Program. Please rise and join TAMIU's senior music major, Heriberto Jimenez, as he sings the national anthem. And gentlemen, please remove your hats.
Say, can't you see my dawn's early light? What so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bomb bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our our flag was still there. Oh, say the star-spangled banner give way o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. This afternoon, the University Mace was carried by Dr. Lola Norris, President of the Faculty Senate. Leading the students in the processional for each college are a faculty marshal and a student marshal. The student marshal chosen from among the top 5 graduates in each college. Please rise and be recognized as I call your names. For the A.R. Sanchez Jr. School of Business, the faculty marshal is Dr. Robert Evans. The student marshal is Karina Isabel Rispasan de Guzman. For the College of Arts and Sciences, the faculty marshal is Dr. Simon Schert, and the student marshal is Adrian Martinez. Dr. Cynthia Pina is the faculty marshal for the College of Education, and the student marshal is Kiana Guzman. For the School of Nursing and Health Sciences, the faculty marshal is Ms. Diana Flores, and the student marshal is Santiago Perez. And for University College, the faculty marshal is Gabriela Medina, and the student marshal is James J. Justice. The colleges also recognize their outstanding graduates by asking them to serve as college banner bearers. Please rise and be recognized as I call your name. For the College of Arts and Sciences, Ramses X. Betancourt. For the A.R. Sanchez Jr. School of Business, Alejandro Cardenas. For the College of Education, Jennifer Rodriguez. For University College, Marisa V. Santos. And for the College of Nursing and Health Sciences, Vivian Dow. I would now like to recognize all of our undergraduate students who are graduating with honors. Would all of the students graduating summa cum laude, the highest honors, which means a 3.9 GPA or higher, and it's not much higher than that, please rise. Congratulations. Would all the students graduating with the next highest honors, which is a 3.7 to 3.89 GPA, magna cum laude, please rise. And finally, would all the students graduating with honors, cum laude, which is a 3.5 to 3.69, please rise. You may sit. Congratulations to all of you for your very hard work and your high achievement. It is my pleasure to now introduce the stage party. To my left is Dr. Pablo Arenas, President of the university. Next to Dr. Arenas is Mr. Alfonso Gomez Rejon, our commencement speaker. And then Dr. Benita Ramirez, Vice President for Student Success. To my right is Dr. James Hallmark, Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs for the Texas A&M University System. And then Mr. I promoted him, Mr. Juan J. Castillo, Vice President for Finance and Administration. Ms. Roseanne Palacios, Vice President for Institutional Advancement. Also in the second row, to my right, is Dr. Claudia San Miguel, Dean of the College of Arts and Sciences. Next to her is the Dean of the A.R. Sanchez Jr. School of Business, Dr. Stephen Sears. Dr. James O'Mara, Dean of the College of Education. And Dr. Glenda C. Walker, Dean of the College of Nursing and Health Sciences. To my left on the second row is Dr. Catherine Whiteman, Dean of University College. Then Dr. Jennifer Coronado, Dean of the Graduate School. And our newly elected Faculty Senate President, Dr. Lola Norris. I now invite Dr. Arenas to introduce our commencement speaker.
It is with great pleasure that I introduce today's commencement speaker, Laredo's native son and St. Augustine graduate, Mr. Alfonso Gomez Rejon. Mr. Gomez Rejon received his BFA from New York University's Tisch School of the Arts and his MFA from the American Film Institute. Mr. Gomez Rejon began his career as a personal assistant to Martin Scorsese, Nora Ephron, Robert De Niro, and Alejandro Gonzalez Iñárritu. He went on to direct the second unit on several films, such as the Academy Award-nominated Babel and the Academy Award-winning Argo. He collaborated with Scorsese on Chanel's international campaign, Blue for Chanel, by writing the script for the Scorsese-directed short film. Mr. Gomez Rejon critically acclaimed second feature, Me and Earl and the Dying Girl, was the 2015 Sundance Film Festival winner of both the Grand Jury Prize and the Audience Award, and was released by Fox Searchlight. He has garnered Emmy nominations for his work as director and executive producer of American Horror Story Coven. Alfonso also directed episodes of American Horror Stories, first 4 seasons, as well as the first 4 seasons of Glee. His most recent feature, The Current War, starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Michael Shannon, Tom Holland, and Nicholas Hoult, will be released worldwide this fall. He is executive producer and director of the pilot for the current Netflix series, Chambers, starring Uma Thurman, and is currently executive producing with Jordan Peele and directing The Hunt for Amazon Studios, starring Al Pacino. Mr. Gomez Rejon has been a strong supporter of Texas A&M International University and our students. He has created an endowment for the creative and healing arts in his memory of his father, a local physician. He has also been a guest lecturer in several of our film classes. Please help me welcome the Spring 2019 commencement speaker, Mr. Alfonso Gomez Rejon.
I'm not intimidated at all.
Thank you, Dr. Arenas, faculty, and friends for having me. Congratulations, class of 2019. It's a real privilege to be here. My first reaction to being asked to speak today was the same as yours. Is this the best you could do? I looked for every reason to get out of it. I don't have the body of work worthy of such an honor. But ultimately, what resonated with me was something that my friend Rosan Palacios said was, come as an artist and speak as an artist. And that gave me pause, because only recently have I been able to identify as an artist confidently without feeling obliged to qualify it or fearing that it sounded pretentious. I wondered after decades of working in the industry why and how I had limited myself by my own self-definitions. To me, artist is a sacred word, a title held by people much more talented than myself. How could I put myself in the same company as a musician or a dancer or a poet? I just can't. That to me is pure art. Art that can express itself first in the human person, in movement, in rhythm. It's greater than man himself and the closest thing to God for me. Filmmaking is different. It's expensive. It's chaotic. You can't do it alone. I don't even know why I do it, to tell you the truth. You need hundreds of people, but what it does, it attempts to unite all of these essential arts into one steady stream. They can exist, all these arts can exist without film, but film can't exist without them. True art rises out of necessity, and it influences the way we think and act as individuals. Art documents our collective memory. And even though I'm here speaking as a filmmaker, art is a fluid term. You'll find it in the hands of doctors and nurses and their humanistic approach to medicine, entrepreneurs creating a demand for new ideas, engineers and architects telling stories in spaces, lawyers that see things that others miss. Artists can change society, and it's ready for a change. I wake up to the news on my phone and listen to my podcasts, and sometimes it feels like there's no escape from a waking nightmare with environmental destruction, rising anti-Semitism, and migrant family separation at this very border. But looking back at history, one always finds that a period of strife is often followed by a period of peace and prosperity. And behind that change, you'll often find a secret weapon, and it's an artist. Someone that can make something tangible out of an abstraction and express the truths that unify us. The murals of Rivera and Orozco and Siqueiros took political messages to the streets, accessible to all, promoting indigenous identity and reflecting a history of oppression. Presidents come and go, but those cries and those murals are as loud as ever. John Lennon's Imagine continues to be an anthem for world peace. A film like Jonathan Demme's Philadelphia destigmatized AIDS. Stanley Kubrick accurately predicted our future in 2001, A Space Odyssey. Picasso's abstract Guernica more realistically reflects the tragedies of war than any realist painting, photograph, or documentary. But a documentary like Errol Morris's A Thin Red Line can lead to a wrongly accused man's second trial and eventual acquittal. And again, my road to being able to own this title for myself has been a long one, and I guess I still have some sort of inferiority complex, and I definitely had one when I left this great city at 17. This was 1990, and it was a very different Laredo, a much smaller Laredo. In hindsight, I wish I hadn't taken for granted how lucky I was to have been raised on such a fluid border. With Nuevo Laredo, we were truly one city arbitrarily divided by a river. It was an imaginary border, just a line on a map somewhere. You didn't know where one ended and the other began. Your life was split in two, with your house on one side, but most of your family on the other, and friends on both, and you'd cross daily and wouldn't think twice about it. And deciding to be a director back then was a bit of a foreign concept. I was terrified, I had no backup, I was terribly insecure and impressionable, like any other teenager, and not unlike what I'm feeling right now. But I had found my calling, and I was lucky enough to have one thing going for me, no connections in the movie industry, but my parents' trust and their tender, loving support. They made me aware that I had one life, and it was mine, not theirs. They let me succeed and fail on my own terms. They were there to love me, and they were there for me to confide in and adore, but they gave me the greatest gift, the freedom to find my own way in the world, the right to pursue happiness. I realize that this is particularly hard for parents of young artists in the room because there is no clear path to perceived success. And success is often what we equate with money, and money with stability and happiness. but nothing could be worse than a life full of regrets. My journey started early. Embarrassingly, I was afraid of the dark and would stay up all night watching television, network TV, and in later years, MTV and HBO. And television and movies became my best friends. Then came the moment that my life changed forever, the way the internet or streaming channels have changed it for many of the artists in the room tonight. And for me, it was the VHS revolution. VHS defined my youth. Video stores, these movie libraries suddenly started springing up like convenience stores. It gave me access to a world of endless possibilities, a history I'd been geographically cheated out of, but now I had no excuse not to get to work and study. While devouring all the tapes at the Video Hut on Malinche Street, I discovered the films of a filmmaker named Martin Scorsese. I was 12, and right then, as clear as day, I decided to become a director. For years, though, throughout elementary and embarrassingly, maybe even some of 7th grade, I was terrified I'd have a different type of calling. I was actually terrified I'd be called to be a priest. All the sisters at Ursuline Elementary, particularly Sister Mary Helen and Sister Teresa Temensky, would share their stories about suddenly being called to serve God, and I was traumatized. It was overwhelming and beyond my control, and I prayed that I'd never get the call of the Lord. I prayed that I'd never see any of those visible signs, an angel under a spotlight at the foot of my bed, telling me to pack up my VCR and my sketchbooks and tear down that poster of Paulina Porizkova in a bathing suit. She was a big supermodel at the time. Now, this was my nightmare because I just wanted to draw and watch David Letterman. Luckily, that never happened. I guess they found me unremarkable, not virtuous enough. Maybe they saw my future as an obsessive, control freak, neurotic, non-committal, and emotionally unavailable guy, and why bother? Or perhaps they knew that I had become obsessed with Scorsese's film Mean Streets. Now, Mean Streets was the first time a film had spoken directly to me. And among many of the aspects of the film that I became obsessed with, what I found most striking was the way he captured Catholic iconography in a contemporary setting. It was the way that I saw it. And that film explored faith, but also doubt, feelings I was holding deep inside without the words or the courage to express them, but it no longer mattered because I wasn't alone anymore, and I didn't need words. I had images and spaces where no word could ever penetrate, and actors that became an extension of my imagination. I began studying all of his films, freeze-framing, rewinding, counting the cuts in the boxing sequences, The Raging Bull. I began reading about film history, the little that was available at the time, and watching all the titles that I could at the Video Hut. So many of the movies never reached us here in Laredo. We had 1.5 movie theaters back then. We had the Fourplex at the mall playing the more commercial fare, and the Plaza downtown where usually one of those films went to die. When I was old enough to drive, I'd get my fix at the Crossroads in San Antonio or the Cine 6 in Corpus, 2 art houses within reach that played a central part in my growth as a filmmaker. It was where I discovered films from Spike Lee to Louis Malle, where such varied voices and styles all eventually forming part of my own DNA. After reading an article about Scorsese's editor, Thelma Schoonmaker, in Premiere Magazine about their brilliant short film, Life Lessons, I drove to San Antonio and would watch and rewatch the film, if just for the one scene between Roseanne Arquette and Nick Nolte. Nick Nolte plays an artist, Lionel Dobie, and he's painting, and she's yelling at him, and he's ignoring her, but as the scene unfolds, she softens, and she holds still, staring at him. In the article, Schoonmaker and Scorsese explain how this scene was so fragile, how their delicate editing pattern had to avoid suggesting that she was falling in love with him. It was about her admiration and falling in love with his work. A frame slid in this direction or that would have upset this balance and tell a different story, but they found the truth, and my mind was blown. It was the power of a single frame, a 24th of a second. So I continued studying their work, and their films took me further and further back to film history. And the fact that I knew so little about film in that pre-internet age didn't frighten me. On the contrary, it made me hungry for more. I made a mission to work with them. I applied to one school, NYU, because he had gone there. And I remember when I landed in New York, I looked around my classroom, and all these kids were so loud and so confident. They had facial hair. They wore these sports coats with their sleeves rolled up, while I still dressed like a 12-year-old from San Agustin. And they were all so tall. But I had one thing going for me, which I didn't know yet, but when it came down to making films, theirs sucked. They just did. Mine didn't. I didn't know why. I was suddenly being noticed, looked at differently, and it gave me a little confidence, a little bounce in my step. I might have been a shy and antisocial freshman, but I was secretly incredibly driven, and I didn't know this about myself. I never had to compete with anyone else as a filmmaker. But being thrown into a shark tank gave me the chance to discover a layer about myself. I'm not sure where that drive came from, but I had found this furnace inside of me. And then I made a horrible film, a really bad film, and I was ignored all over again. Public failure, and get used to it. I wanted to die, I wanted to hide. I did the whole fetal position, what am I doing with my life routine? And then I did the only thing that I could do, which is make another film and prove myself again. To them or to me, that part wasn't clear just yet. Within a few years of paying my dues, doing grunt work on student films, independent films, storyboarding, working as a translator, all throughout college, I eventually heard a rumor about a job, fixated on it, got it, and it was to work for my two mythical heroes, Scorsese and Schoonmaker, and all of a sudden they were in front of me and they were human. And some say we should never meet our heroes because we'll only be disappointed, but meeting them was the exception to the rule. They continue to be giants. Now, Scorsese and Schoonmaker's unique cinematic language became my lifeblood. A mentorship became a friendship. I would stay late after work watching Laserdiscs and VHS tapes of all the classics, trying to play catch-up on everything I had missed. It was a constant process of discovery and humility. Study the classics and learn from them. That was their mandate. With time, experience, and observation, I learned that the pain one goes through as an artist affects us all. But it's harder when you're looking to the outside for answers and approval. Even if it is in our nature to crave acceptance, maybe even glory, some might argue immortality, there's only one way to go as an artist, and that's to go into yourself. Don't expect answers to questions that only your own instinct in your quietest moments will be able to answer. You do your best and you take on projects you're passionate about, and when you fail, and if and when you fail, you'll know why it was worth fighting for. It's our relationship to all these great unknown forces, how deeply we experience and feel them, and our ability to dust ourselves off, make something new, and put ourselves out there again that will define us and develop and polish our voices. A few years ago, after the success of my second film, I was able to finally make my dream project. It was a labor of love called Citizen that I'd been working on for years. It started as a film and now had become a 10-episode series that I would direct and write and produce, and it was to be the biggest pilot of the year, and it was going to launch Hulu at the time. It was an origin story about a Latino superhero set in East LA, a little Dark Knight, a little Pink Floyd The Wall, a mixed media experiment that incorporated street art, music, and animation. It was huge, it was original, it had an all-Latin cast from all parts of South and Central America and Mexico and Puerto Rico and Spain, and it starred one of my heroes, Tom Waits, playing a priest, giving his sermons in Spanish. I mean, this thing was nuts and it was loud and it was very, very cool, and I had realized exactly what was in my head. We were all riding very high, but then there was an unexpected executive shuffle at the studio. The new CEO looked at it and pulled the plug at the very last minute. It was too expensive. It was an unknown cast. Tom Waits was in it, but he was speaking Spanish. Forget it, it was over. And I was shattered. And cut to me in the fetal position. What am I doing with my life routine that I had done 20 years ago? It always hurts. It's supposed to. We care too much, and we all feel intensely. And it's always personal because what we make is a part of us. Then Tom Waits sent me an email which got me through this dark time. I asked him if I could read a piece of it, and he said, of course. And the email was very simple, but something I read every once in a while. He said, so much that is out there is folks making bullets that just fit the chamber. You have made a motorcycle with wings and a tail that runs on chicken and candy. That did not come right, Alfonso. What I'm saying is that something so original and so full of heart will find a home that has the same features. One door closes and another door opens. You are great at what you do and the right door is looking for you. Now, I don't necessarily agree that I'm great at what I do, but I do agree with almost everything else he wrote. You just have to keep pushing forward, even if at times we feel we're trapped in a revolving door. Eventually one does open. There's simply no easy path. This journey we've chosen, or the journey that has chosen us sometimes to butcher Dickens, it bends and breaks us, but hopefully into a better shape. Telling stories is my obsession, and you have yours. It's where I try and assert my individuality, how I get through life, how I talk about life. And there's a beauty in this sometimes painful journey, but it's my life and it's your life, and life is an art piece, and it's our job to have the courage to keep searching and telling the truth, even when you're beaten down or gossiped about, even when hypocrisy and ignorance hovers around you. Let it come, let it be, and let it go. You have to continue taking a stand. I hope we all have the same desperation to create until the very end. And when we're gone, we'll have movies and music and dance and poetry, or bridges and buildings for people to remember us by. Or we won't. We may touch someone's life today that may spark an idea a generation or two from now, and then a new idea will be born that might change the world. Even though we'll be forgotten, long forgotten by then, it's because we had the courage to make something, to put something out in the world that eventually made it a better place. Most of us weren't born white. Some of you weren't born white and male, which may have given us a leg up in the world. But we're lucky many of us are from the border, or we've made the border our home, and we have our own unique identity. We see the world uniquely. The world is in need of our diverse voices. Personal stories are the most powerful. They're the ones that change hearts and minds. There is only one of you. And it's important to keep asserting your rebelliousness through your work, your irreverence, your honesty, humor, and love of other people. And to all the parents out there, I urge you to trust your sons and daughters. Trust that they'll come to their own self-realizations, pursue happiness on their own terms, travel and see the world, and connect to others regardless of age, sex, race, and creed, carrying the values and the work ethic that you've instilled in them. Being an artist isn't measured by time. There is no logical road that leads to a poet being published, or an actor to star in a film, or a dancer to lead a ballet. Artists need time to grow like trees. They need nurturing and patience. Their job is to give shape to our communal feelings. They are necessary. It's a noble profession. They created the music you listen to on your drive here. They designed the seats you're sitting in now and the clothes you're wearing. And to those who didn't have the parental support I was lucky to have, to the young women and men in the room that maybe had to be their own parents, I beg you, don't let anyone or anything strip you of hope. See yourself for what you are and be proud of it. Have faith in your capacity to endure and let life take its course. Their journey never ceases to be difficult, but keep focused on the true and the real. So the question for all of the artists out there moving forward is, would you die if you were denied the right to express yourself? Is there something inside of you that is trying to get out, to come into words and images and movement or song? Dig deep into your deepest region of your heart, and if your answer is still yes, then construct your life unapologetically. Depict your sadness, your loves and desires. Realize images from your dreams and memories intensely, but with humility. Don't put so much importance on your victories. Go into yourself and examine the depths from which your life springs. Be scared, grow, change, never be satisfied. You're going to fail, so fail hard and on your terms. Whatever happens, your life will find its own path. Whatever you decide to do with it, whether you're an artist or not, whatever your passion is, make motorcycles that run on chicken and candy. Be conscious of what it is you're leaving behind in the world, but leave a mark that will make it a better place. I worked hard to seek out and nurture relationships with masters who eventually became mentors, filmmakers that I idolized, for whatever reason, saw something in me, treated me as an equal, and gave me a seat at the table. And now part of my goal in life is to do my part to ensure that those of you who grew up with less than others, especially young people of color, also have the opportunity to succeed. Had someone simply judged me based on my background, I don't think they would have predicted the trajectory my life has taken. I humbly know that I may be looked at as an example of what can happen when people take the time to get to know you and support you. Our world may not be a very happy place today, but you can't build a wall in the sky, and you can't stop anyone from dreaming. And looking out at all of you right now, I'm confident that things will turn soon because you're what tomorrow looks like. Please nurture, protect, and defend your fellow artists, your fellow misfits and outcasts and iconoclasts. Be happy for their successes and help each other do their best work. Thank you, class of 2019, for letting me be part of this celebration. Best of luck on all that lies ahead. You are in your future, so be in it. Thank you.
I know this may not fit in your luggage as you travel back, but this is just a small gift from us to you, thanking you for being our commencement speaker today.
It is with great pleasure that I introduce today's student respondent. Okay. Originally from Laredo, Kiana Lee Izquierre is the daughter of Quitlahuac and Claudia Rodriguez. She attended J.W. Nixon High School and the Vidal M. Trevino School of Communication and Fine Arts. Today, she earns a Bachelor of Science in Communication Disorders, graduating summa cum laude with a 3.942 GPA. While a TAMIU student, Kiana was a member of the National Student Speech Language Hearing Association and the Student Philanthropy Council. She participated in numerous community service events and worked for TAMIU's Dusty Juniors University program and the Imaginarium of South Texas. She was a recipient of a scholarship from the Oscar M. Laurel Endowment. Upon graduation, Kiana plans to become a certified elementary teacher. Her long-term goal is to attain a Master of Science degree in curriculum and instruction and serve the children of the city of Laredo as a reading specialist. Please join me in welcoming Kiana Izquierre.
Good afternoon, honored guests, members of the stage party, and fellow TAMIU Dust Devils. My name is Kiana Lee Izquierre, a candidate for graduation from the Communication Sciences and Disorders program within the College of Nursing and Health Sciences. It is a great honor to be standing before you on this special occasion. Malala Yousafzai, the world's youngest Nobel Prize laureate, once said, "Let us make our future now, and let us make our dreams tomorrow's reality." Today, tomorrow's dreams become reality. Many of us have dreamt of this day while secretly dreading the possibility of being asked, "So you graduated, what now?" There are many of you who entered this university knowing exactly what you wanted to study, while others weren't quite ready to commit their passions to a career. Today, all of us, those who were and were not so sure on day one, celebrate a success like no other. Upon beginning our TAMIU experience, we were required to take courses that prepared us for the rigors of academia. However, something that academia does not teach us is how to build everlasting friendships. During our time at TAMIU, we crossed paths with diverse individuals who became our classmates and eventually friends that have seen us at both our worst and our best. And let's face it, they probably saw us more than our families did. The countless hours of classwork brought these relationships even closer. As we look back at the university that we now call home, we should ask ourselves, how lucky are we to have the opportunity to graduate from a university that breaks down cultural barriers and opens its doors to diversity? A university that sees past the colors of our skin, the languages that we speak, and the beliefs and customs of our many cultures. A university that, rather than favoring one culture over the others, celebrates the many cultures that may be found on its green acres. In a time when our country's eyes often focus on the division of our diverse cultures, we have chosen to rise above the labels and standards that have been placed upon us. It is truly a blessing to graduate from a university that appreciates diversity and encourages success at all levels of life. For those graduates with families of their own, your decision to attain a higher education to better yourselves and provide a role model for your children is praiseworthy. For our servicemen and women who have selflessly served to protect our country and decided to attain a degree simultaneously, we salute you. For the first-generation university graduates who worked hard for their education with limited financial resources and barriers, we say, cada sueño empieza con un soñador y sí se pudo. Every dream begins with a dreamer, and we did it. For today's graduates who left their home countries to attain a degree, you fearlessly did so in a new country and culture that embraced you. For those students who had to take a few years off, you came back even stronger to share in today's success. Look among yourselves and see the bright tapestry of stories today. We all may have different backgrounds and life stories, but today, together, we have made it to the end of this chapter of our lives. I pray that the next chapter in our lives is filled with adventure, happiness, success, and continued blessings. Lastly, let us not forget the people in our lives who have supported us throughout the years, those who were our backbones and never stopped believing in us. Our family, friends, faculty, classmates, mentors, and significant others, we thank you for being encouraging, patient, and understanding. As we all thank our loved ones, I too thank my family, my parents, Cuitlahua and Claudia, grandparents, Rafael and Lucrecia, friends inside and outside the Communication Sciences and Disorders program, Doctors Melissa P. Garcia, Sumulai Maroon Rock, and Ms. Rosa Robledo, and my significant other Alberto, for their endless love and support. Most importantly, I would like to thank the Oscar M. Laurel family for selecting me as a Laurel Scholar and providing me with the opportunity to attain my degree. Graduates, may you take pride in how far you have come and have faith in how far you can go. Greet the future with anticipation. Dream big and work hard. And remember your roots, your manners, and the way home. And always, always go beyond. Congratulations, class of 2019.
As a token of our appreciation, thank you, Kiana. It's now my privilege to invite Dr. James Hallmark, the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs for the Texas A&M University System, to deliver greetings on behalf of the Board of Regents and to authorize the conference of degrees.
President Arenas, Provost Mitchell, distinguished guests, friends, and family of today's graduates, members of the Texas A&M International University's class of 2019. It's my great honor to be here today and bring you greetings on behalf of the Chancellor and of the Board of Regents of the Texas A&M University System. Today's a special day as you prepare to walk across this stage and into the next chapter of your lives. And while none of us know what the future holds for you, I do know that you are well prepared for those challenges that lie ahead thanks to this university. This system and its members, including Texas A&M International University, are dedicated to improving the lives of Texans through teaching, research, and service. And you're now part of a unique segment of society, not just graduates of this university, but more broadly, those with a college degree. And we challenge you to see this as both a personal accomplishment and to carry this as a charge, a proud legacy of positively impacting people's lives. Don't take this responsibility lightly, but continue your commitment to learning for a lifetime and maintain your leadership and dedication to the greater good. Now, by the authority of the Texas A&M University System Board of Regents, it's my sincere pleasure to authorize President Arenas to confer the respective academic degree for which you've been recommended, with all the rights, privileges, responsibilities, and obligations pertaining thereto. I wish you good fortune, success, and happiness. Congratulations to all of you.
The moment you've been waiting for. And now, will all the candidates for their respective degrees and will all the faculty please rise? Dr. Arenas, I certify that the graduates whose names will appear on the official graduation list will have completed all the work required for their degrees and will be in compliance with the policies and regulations as approved by the Board of Regents and published in the official catalog of Texas A&M International University. On behalf of this community of scholars, the faculty and staff, I recommend that their degrees be conferred.
So I got to get this right so that you actually can graduate. By the authority invested in me by the Chancellor and by the Board of Regents of the Texas A&M University System, acting under the enabling legislation establishing this university and in pursuance of the recommendation of the faculty and academic administration, I hereby confer upon each of you the degree to which you are entitled with all its rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Baccalaureate graduates, you may now move the tassel from right to left. Congratulations, and please be seated.
Please be seated. Will the marshals please escort the candidates to the stage?
Start already? Mr. President, I now present to you those individuals upon whom a baccalaureate degree from the College of Arts and Sciences has been conferred. Ashley Roberta Artolosaga. Brenda Anaid Arroyo. Hefsiba Andrea Aguilar. Janet Montemayor Alardín. Giselle Amaro. José Luis Arellano Jr. Esmeralda G. Arámbula Cervantes. Chelsea Paola Arellano. José Luis Aguilar III. Marcos Amador Jr. Ramón Arellano Jr. Adrián Fabio Martínez. Valeria Arce. Khalil Ahmed. Juan M. Alvarado III. Roy Alder Aguiar. Alejandra Díaz Toscano. María Fernanda Astrain. María Alejandra Aguilera. Alex Alemán. Reinaldo Alvarado Jr. Emma Adriana Ángeles. Leonardo Isaac Gallardo Ábalos. Ramses Xavier Betancourt. Ana Lisette Bustamante. Raúl Cantú. Michael Edward Brewster Jr. Kimberly Benavides. Carla Rosario Benavides. Alexis Etzel Cantú. Diana Cabrera. Evelyn Abigail Campa. Juan Carlos Cárdenas. Tyler Don Booth. Gabriel Alejandro Cantú. Jonathan Diamond Pasadoni. Christopher James Cantú. Sonia Lisa Buentello. Carolina Ávila. Jessica Renee Canales. Leticia Jade Barrera. Fernanda Marie Barrios. Ezequiel Barrera. Celina Berenice Valderas. Clarissa Lisette Cadena. Tiffany Lorraine Canela. Maritza Itzel Castro. Leila Cristina Charur Guerra. César A. Castillo. Roberto Ceballos Jr. Joanna Abigail Cavazos. Sidelia Eloísa Chávez. Yesenia Carrera. Leslie Cárdenas. Samantha Isela Carmona. René Chávez Jr. Bianca Alexandra Cerda. Stephanie Alexandra Chávez. Elia Maribel Contreras. Alberto Cervantes. Jocelyn Chavarría. Jorge Alejandro Castillo. Ramiro Chavana. Juan José Castillo Jr. Sara Louise Caterson. Raymond Gilbert Cortés. Sofía Jimena Elizondo. Ricardo Cruz Jr. Dania Aimé Elizondo González. Alan Díaz. Joel Alejandro Díaz Guerrero. Ernesto Eguía Jr., Luis Alberto de la Torre, Jamie Christine Cortazo, Jonathan E. De Leon, Karina Leticia Delgado, Brianda Alexa Enriquez, Teresa Renee Cortez, Jocelyn Elizondo, Amy Lisette Cortina, Jennifer Margarita Dominguez, Thelma Stephanie Diaz, Marissa Lisette Cruz, Hilda V. Dennis, Sisi Burciaga de los Reyes, María Cruz, Rogelio Gamboa III, Paulina Flores Hinojosa, Ana Camila Ezeta, María Elena Fuentes, Ivan Isaac Fuentes, Ruben Gallardo Jr., Antonia Elena Flores, Esteban Enrique Flores, Cristina Nicole Flores, Serena Rose Garza, Cristina Ann Escobedo, John Michael Escamilla, Ruben Escamilla Jr., David Franco, José Antonio Flores, Ariana Isabel García, Kimberly A. Escamilla, Connie Lynn Foley, Iris Isamar García, Kayla Amanda Escamilla, Belinda Annette García, Cristina Guadalupe Gallardo, Ana Karen García, Rogelio Misael García Jr., Lauren Denise Garner, Verónica González, Carla Denise Garza, Amanda Ray González, José Francisco González, Kevin David González, Emilio González Jr., Emily Lisette Garza, Jaime Emilio García, Vivian Victoria Garza, Jessica Denise García, Laura Elizabeth González, Emily Jocelyn González, Margarita González, Juliana Garza, Maribel Gómez, Jessica Michelle González, Cecilia Isabel González, Alexia Gómez Tucker, Danny Roy González, María Vanessa Guerrero, Jocelyn Jasmine Hernández, María Alonso Gutiérrez III, Liana Giselle Guerra. Jonah David Hernandez. Rebecca Ann Hernandez. Ronaldo Hernandez. Wendy Areli Gonzalez. Leslie Ruby Guapo. Carlos Fernandez Guzmán. Maribel H. González. Ruben Jaime Gutiérrez. Janet González. Samantha Michelle Hernandez. Gladys F. Gracia. Cristel Arasay Guevara Flores. Carla Lisette Hernandez. Marisa Michelle Guerrero. Jocelyn Denise Hernandez. Sarah Renee Hagee. Francisco Hernandez Jr. Jesús Inguanzo. Miguel Cafuir Malalindón. Perla Alejandra Herrera. Paul Anthony Yitzki. Kenneth Gage Jones. Alexia G. Lopez. Brenda Lee Lopez Puente. Trisha Lynn Lozano. Jacob Daniel Halsey. Armando López. Raúl Lozano. Rolando López. Denise Loredo. Jacqueline Ashley Lara. Jonathan Ryan Loa. José Antonio Irruegas. Gerardo Lozano. Genesis Joy Lozano. Ana Karen Leal. Heriberto Jiménez. Ariana Marlene Márquez. Valeria Claudette Macías. Ángel J. Martínez. David Isai Márquez. Samuel Martínez. Gerardo Jesús Martínez Santos. Marta I. Medina. Ruth María Martínez. Michelle Medrano. Stephanie M. Mancha. Daniela Victoria Mata. Guadalupe Macías. David Malacara. Yvette Monique Medellín. Ana Luisa Martín. Susie Renee Martínez. Melissa Medina. Karina Martínez. Heriberto Eloy Medina. Magdalena Bianca Mendoza. Ramiro A. Martínez Jr. Petronilo Morín IV. Laura Alisa Monsiváis. Noeli Victoria Morales Mata. Yensei Denis Murillo. Janet Montes Ramos. Marisa K. Nozaki. Melanie Karina Morales. Xochitl Moya Valdivia. Casey Moreno. Enrique Moreno. Daniel Alejandro Molina. Elizabeth Moreno. Richard Rafael Montalvo Jimenez. Jessica Ann Mireyes. Scarlett G. Merkley. Tanya R. Monsiváis. Allison Janine Miller. Erika Alicia Negrete. Tristan Ann Morris. Joanna Karina Ochoa. Ángel Gabriel Morán del Villar. Daniel Andrew Moreno. Carla A. Olvera. Estefanía Padilla. Ashley Nicole Paredes. Elvia Alicia Pérez. Devona Davet Quintana. Alexandra Marie Pérez. Jimena Pérez. Eric Ramírez. Sven Alejandro Pollens Herrera. Juan Antonio Ramírez Jr. Emilio Fernando Pérez Jr. Homero Páez III. Alejandra Olivares. Norberto Ortiz Jr. Ruth Vanessa Oviedo. Giselle Olivares. Amber Marie Pérez. Ramiro Pérez III. Carolina Oliva. Kimberly Ponce. Ruby Ortiz. Celeste E. Reyes. Jocelyn Eloisa Reyes. Esmeralda Rodríguez. Antonio de Jesús Reséndez. Josué Fernando Rivera. Cynthia Yamilex Ramos. Victoria Marie Robledo. Gabriela Reyes. Andrés Reyes. Eric Isauro Reyes. Eduardo Faustino Rodríguez. Pedro Leonardo Rivera. Leslie Itzel Ramírez. Rebecca Verónica Ramírez. Adán Rodríguez. Raúl Ramos Jr. Ashley Renee Reyes. Crystal Roach. Albert Rodríguez Jr. Roxana J. Samaniego. Orlando Rodríguez. Tabata Nayah Rodríguez Talamas. Blanca Aurora San Martín. Lisa Cristina Rodríguez. Juan Elías Salinas. Viviana Sáenz. Michelle Melissa Sánchez. Iris Irene Rodríguez. Fernando Josué Sánchez. Lachey Roll. Rafael Ruiz III. Jesús Antonio Sánchez, Jesús Ruiz, Tanya N. Sánchez, Robert Braden Sánchez, Pedro Samuel Salce, Daniela Alicia Sánchez, Marco Antonio Solorio, Yamil María Santiago, William Gaston Shroud Sr., Alicia Segovia, José Ángel Segura, Lynette Soyoa, Damián Esteban Setien, Melinda S. Scribner, Aurora Cassandra Sloman Moll, Ricardo Santos Llano, Ricardo Solis Jr., Victoria Natalie Serna, Elvin G. Sherman II, Alexandra Sauceda, Samuel Segueda, Hernan C., Bonnie Serna, Francesca Sierra, Alexia Serna, Claudia Esther Santiago, Ismael Jaime Sauceda, Marisela Treviño, Devon Alberto Torres, Joanna Kaylee Uranga, Mónica Vargas Arce, María Fernanda Vázquez, Anthony V. Verduzco, Carlos Ricardo Vela, Mariela Denise Soto Ruiz, Hannah Torres, Cynthia María Urteaga, Nicole Valdez, Eric U. Vázquez Cano,
Ma'am, it's gonna be Melanie.
Valeria Tobias,
Melanie.
Melanie Melissa Valdez, Bianca Velázquez, José Jesús Treviño III, Esther Eunice Valadez, Octavio Vázquez Jr., Nancy Ventura Quintana, Ruben Vela, Gloria E. Sotelo, Belinda Ugarte, Jake Villarreal, Jasmine Danielle Zamora, Melva Jardisa Villarreal, Cassandra Villafranca, Felipe Iñiguez, Alexandra Villarreal, Lynn H. Yang, Jacqueline Wong, Audrey Veronica Wise, César Augusto Villarreal.
The statement.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for the baccalaureate graduates from the College of Arts and Sciences.
Mr. President, I now present to you those individuals upon whom a baccalaureate degree from the College of Education has been conferred. Jorge L. Barron, Justin A. Diaz, Abel Arnoldo Aguilar, Cesar Daniel Espinosa, Adolfo S. Botello, Antonio Davila Jr., Susana Serna, Sofía Alexandra de los Santos, Karina Yamile Dennis, Tiffany Nicole Escobedo, Sofía Cavazos, Ginelli Botello, Emily Giselle Estrada, José Ángel Daniel, Kiana Lee Izaguirre, Maite Aurora Guzmán, Alfredo Alanis III, Maximiliano Cruz Samago, Ezra Eli Mares, Elida Priscilla Campos, Berenice Acevedo, Verónica Lara, Sara Elba Laurel, Elaine Leija, Idalia González Madrigal, Jessica Gallegos, Miriam Marrón, Gabriela Carolina Hinojosa González, Ana Guerrero, Jessica Ruby Martínez, Cindy Jocelyn Martínez, Cynthia Aseneth Mancha, Sergio J. Figueroa, Magali Alejandra Jiménez, Dixie Garcia, Mayela R. Garza, Valeria Garza, María Elizabeth Hinojosa, Zaira Alexa Hernández, Erica Gallegos, Alexis Karina García Salazar, Simón Pedro Martínez Jr., Alex Hernández, Jennifer Lisbeth Rodríguez, Alejandra Reyes, Kiana Cristel Guzmán, Rebecca Nicole Rodríguez, Jasmine Ramírez, Vivian Giselle Rodríguez, Amber Leanne Palos, Tracy Ramos, Josué Regalado, Araceli Yunuan Rentería Álvarez, Karina Quiroga, Reinaldo Monsiváis Jr., Ana Lidia Sainz, Roberto Carlos Molina, Kamari Dalen Robinson, Yared Rodríguez, Elise Anastasia Muñoz, Nadia Isela Palacios, Sarah N. Horta, Caleb Sainz, Tiffany Mora, Graciela Margarita Medina, Sarah Marie Ortega, Ana Karen Serna, Vanessa Vela, Ana Patricia Sánchez, Omar Kelso Solis, Zachary Quinton Williams, Lori Denise Valverde, Gilberto Ali Velasco, Jorge Arturo Solís, Cassandra Sandoval, Adriana Sanchez. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the baccalaureate graduates from the College of Education. Mr. President, I now present to you those individuals upon whom a baccalaureate degree from the College of Nursing and Health Sciences has been conferred. Mariana Michelle Gomez, Héctor Javier González Guajardo, Jocelyn Angélica Escobar, Diana Vianey de la Cruz, Gabriela Gómez, Maite Abigail Hernández, Cynthia Cavazos, Humberto Alejandro Garza Pequeño, Joshua Hunter Den Hartog, Aarón Alejandro Garza, Ana Gabriel Hernández, Irma Samantha Chavarría, Francisco Raúl Molina, Raúl Cuadra, Alexis Nicole Gutierrez, Holly Nicole Chapa, Tamara Felisa Eveland, Denise Nicole Alvarez, Amanda Alicia Avant, Sabrina Nicole Bustamante, Jose Luis Gonzalez, Priscilla Hernandez, Armando Muro, Christian Vince Rodriguez, Wei Yang, Syra Alejandra Westmond, Luis A. Madrazo, Ana Chanel Jiao, Lisa Juliana Lopez, Ricardo Armando Juárez, Sofía Monsiváis, Natalia Medina Poon, Jorge Yuland Ortiz II, Clara Guadalupe Pérez, Indira Torres, Francisca Victoria Rodríguez, Tatiana Lee Robledo, Crystal Irene Romero, Karen Martinez, Crisel Lee Rodríguez, Santiago Andrés Pérez, Vivian Dow. Mr. President, Or, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the baccalaureate graduates from the College of Nursing and Health Sciences. Mr. President, I now present to you those individuals upon whom a baccalaureate degree from University College has been conferred. Roxana Peña Madrigal. Marina Lilia Leal. Alejandra Denise Flores. Adriana Martínez. Lidia Hernández. Teresa Marielena Pedraza. Renee Córdoba Contreras. Tantashay S. Geiger. Giovanni Guerrero. Sonia Yvonne Liendo. Stephanie Morales Rico. Samantha Alardín. Celeste Hurtado. Leticia Nabil Moreno. Martha Elisa Pérez. Diana C. Pérez. Ilse A. Arámbula. Alexa Paola Chapa. Belinda Ruth Flores. Michelle Alejandra Macusey. Roosevelt Delgado Jr. Mayra Alejandra Santos. Alejandra Zaragoza. Esther Soto. Marisela Martínez. Abraham S. Prince. Juan Pablo Pérez Jr. James J. Justice. Marisa V. Santos. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the baccalaureate graduates from University College. Mr. President, I now present to you those individuals upon whom a baccalaureate degree from the A.R. Sanchez Jr. School of Business has been conferred. Natalie Nicole Cardona. Gerardo Rafael Cárdenas. Adriana Alejandra Chavira. Gabriela Alejandra Castro. Yvette Alfaro. Amanda Alemán. Celina Arámbula. Jessica Arambide Espinosa. Argenis I. Barrera Camara. Rafael Castro IV. Angélica Betancourt. Luis Gerardo Ávila. Juan Antonio Ayala. Carolina Atilano Saez. Virginia V. Castillo. Ray James Aguirre. Alejandro Benavides. Elisa Marie Campos. María del Carmen Castillo. Yalitza Castañeda. Saúl Alcorta. Christopher André Cervantes. Damian Alexandro Fernández. Christy Lynette Garza. Alondra Anaí Cruz. Ana Laila Guzmán. Reinaldo Gutiérrez Jr. Natalia Gómez. Mónica Contreras. Adán González. Carla Gabriela Guevara. María Esther Gutiérrez. Alan González. Roberto Carlos Gallegos. Cecilia Isabel Guerrero. Krista Liane Elizondo. Karina Nemesis Flores. Yaritza Deneb García. Abigail García. Cristel García. Bernardo Aniceto Garza. Miguel Ángel Díaz Jr. Ingrid Díaz Colobos. Leslie Marie Dimas. Karina Isabel Rupizán de Guzmán. Alejandro Cárdenas Gutiérrez. Daniela A. Martínez Chavana. Luis Mario Herrera. Joshua Eliud Izquierdo. Antonia Clarisa Martínez. Gianel Anaís Lozano. Ricardo Montemayor. Ramiro Javier Martínez. Felipe de Jesús López. Gregorio Gerardo Lara. Rafael Diego Montavez Calleja. Andrés Benjamín Ogaz Fuentes. César Omar Jarero. Jaime David Martínez. Nayeli Guadalupe López. Rolando Morales. Ricardo René Molina. Abraham Emanuel Meneses. María Guadalupe López. Christian Locke Wynn. Esteban Ortega. Ashton A. Laurel. Oscar Mario Hinojosa III. Ashley Monique Ríos. Mónica Pastrana. Rogelio Sierra. Raúl Ortiz. Bianca Annette Pescador. Nerissa Alejandra Peña. Ruth Ortiz. Yanira Aseneth Peña. Mayra Cecilia Sánchez. Rubén Martín Solís. Carlos Miguel Puente. Rebecca Cecilia Santos. Ramiro Rodríguez Jr. Adriana Sandoval. Ivan Ramírez. Alejandro Rodríguez. Javier Alberto Salinas Flores. Francisco Javier Palacios Cerón. Abraham R. Lozano. Vanessa Serna. Vianey Yaisel Villa. Vanessa Villalobos. Laida Neri Trejo. Crystal Rebecca Verduzco. José María Villarreal. Rodolfo Vela III. Diana Trujillo. Jesús Eduardo Velázquez Jr. Evelyn Hermila Torres. Evan Alejandro Uribe, María Fernanda Cermeño, Mónica Yasmin Sustaita, Heidi Rodriguez. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the baccalaureate graduates from the A.R. Sanchez Jr. School of Business. Mr. President, I now present to you those individuals upon whom a master's degree from the College of Arts and Sciences has been conferred. Ángel Áviles. Oscar Martín Benavides. Jacqueline Carmen Briceño. Celina Agredano. Brenda Lisette Hernández. Isela Marie Mora. Areli Karina Hernández. Isabel Gallegos. Jasmine Azarel Izquierdo. Orlando M. Patricio. Noemí Pérez. Cristina Dovalina Arellano. Verónica Pérez. Araceli Abigail de la Torre. Carmen García. Blanca Louise Donovan. Celina de los Santos. Gabriela López. Valeria G. Favela. Juan Guillermo Pérez. Melinda Lee Downey Ayala. Ariel Adolio González Jr. Mariano García. Alejandro de León. Samantha Sinaí Sánchez. Jaime Eduardo Zapata Morales. Julieta Salinas. Mónica Vela. Enrique J. Sauceda. Yanira Esperanza Reséndez. Eve M. Valdés. Alejandra María Santos. Eduardo Alejandro Solano. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the master's graduates from the College of Arts and Science. Mr. President, I now present to you those individuals upon whom a master's degree from the College of Education has been conferred. Marlena Brenda Garcia. Diana Lisa Garza. Verónica Ruiz. Mitzi Ileana Cantú. Alexa Carolina Peñalosa. Jocelyn Garza.
It's Cherie.
Joshua Llamas. Jennifer Cherie Brown. Liliana Bella Juárez. J. L. Castillo Jr. María José Ezeta. Pedro Alanís. Vida Tani Haruna. Liz H. Martinez. Michelle Lorraine Guerra. Mónica Lorraine Juárez. Claudia I. Esparza. Elizabeth Garcia López. Saúl Jonathan López. Tanya K. Torres Hernandez, Mary Jo Perez, Andrea Araceli Juárez, Mara Eleonora Verino, Susana Rosales Sarmiento, Ruth Graciela Vázquez, Martha Marie Perales, Valerie Cassandra Vázquez, Evelyn Quiñones, Deanira Didi Rojas. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the master's graduates from the College of Education. Mr. President, I now present to you those individuals upon whom a master's degree from the College of Nursing and Health Sciences has been conferred. Juan Carlos Santos, Raúl Rogelio Cortés, Priscilla Giselle Wong, Verónica Montes Cortés, José Hilario García, Oscar Villarreal, Erica Giselle Nava, Elena Reina, Eva M. Benavides de Villarreal, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the master's graduates from the College of Nursing and Health Sciences. Mr. President, I now present to you those individuals upon whom a master's degree from the A.R. Sanchez Jr. School of Business has been conferred. Daniel Eduardo Jimenez, Oswaldo Espinola González, Olawakorede Mosatbolatan Katibi, Kiara Elliott, Linda Garza, Hugo Garza Jr., Ubaldo Duenas Jr., Eduardo Ibarra II, Lucio Allen Aleman, Michael Edmund Gutierrez, Swapnil Sanjay Bosel, José Roberto Dovalina, Lisa Aseneth Benavides, Jacqueline Maritza Jimenez, Paola G. González Mercado, Ileana María Izaguirre Steins, Gerardo A. González, Diego Andrés Villarreal, Norberto Martínez Jr., Francisco Alejandro Ruiz, Kayla Vázquez, Marcelo Salazar, Samantha Stone Cortés, Kimberly Salazar, Liana Marie Sainz, Rodrigo Villarreal Gijón, Isabel Samarripa Rodríguez, Agustín Velázquez, Esteban Otero Jr., Daisy Olivas, Alejandra Méndez, María Guadalupe Nolasco, Gilbert Reyes, Emanuel Guillermo Vázquez, Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the master's graduates from the College of Business. Dr. Mitchell, will you please present our doctoral candidates?
With great pleasure. Dr. Arenas, it gives me very great pleasure to announce that we have a record number of graduates earning their Doctor of Philosophy degree in International Business Administration. 4 of them join us today at commencement to be hooded by you, Dean Sears, and their dissertation chairs. Would the candidates for the PhD and their dissertation chairs join Dr. Arenas and Dean Sears at the podium? First to be hooded by his dissertation chair, Dr. Ned Cook, is Dr. James Cox. In case you didn't hear me, the last person was Dr. Ned Cook, the faculty member, hooding Dr. James Cox. We now have Dr. Jorge Brusa, who will now hood Dr. Zagzabar Davadorsh. Congratulations. Dr. Prieto will now hood Dr. Efrain Medina. Congratulations. Representing Dr. Jacqueline Mayfield, Dr. Cook will now hood our 4th and final PhD graduate at commencement, Dr. Priti Patel. Congratulations. I'd like to ask, before Dr. Arenas gives his final remarks, I'd like to ask for you to stand if you're the first in your family to graduate from a university or college. Would you please stand? Wow. Thank you very much. Your families and all of us are very proud of you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a round of applause for all of the Texas A&M International University spring graduates.
See if I can do this in multiple ways. Well, on behalf of the entire Texas A&M International University community, I congratulate each and one of you upon the completion of your degree. In a few moments, you will be leaving this building, your diplomas in hand, ready to enter the workforce or graduate or professional school, prepared by a unique university experience to work, to lead, to inspire others, to make an impact on this community, this region, and the state of Texas, and I hope to go beyond. We at the university have given you the knowledge, the tools, the resources, and the skills to be successful. It is now your responsibility to excel in your given profession. When I was a younger man, not that I'm really old yet, I bought a small toolbox for the few tools I had. I had a hammer, a couple of screwdrivers, a pair of pliers, a couple of wrenches, and a file. Why I had the file, I still don't know. Over time, I needed to add new tools to the toolbox because the jobs became more complex or I didn't have the right tool. Today, I have a large tool chest filled with all kinds of tools, 5 different hammers, 6 different saws, including a circular saw and a jigsaw, 3 different types of wire cutters and a wire stripper, multiple screwdrivers. I don't know how many screwdrivers I had, probably 24, a bunch of wrenches, and a whole lot more. Some tools which I bought for one project and I still don't know, I don't know what it is for use for now. I use this analogy to make a point. We have helped you fill your toolbox with the basic tools you need to be successful. However, you'll find that you will need to add new skills and new knowledge to your toolbox as you continue your journey. These new tools will help you compete in a more complex and global environment, meet the challenges of new jobs, many that had not even been dreamt of yet, and the new technologies needed for those jobs. As Leonardo da Vinci put it, learning is the only thing that the mind never exhausts, never fears, never regrets. I encourage each of you to become that lifelong learner who has a passion for knowledge and the eagerness to challenge yourself daily. The love of learning is the most useful tool you can add to your toolbox. As with everything else in your life, you have had the support of family and friends. Therefore, let us recognize those significant others that have made this moment possible. Por favor, los maridos, los padres, los niños, los abuelos, y los hermanos de los graduados, puesta a pie para recibir nuestro agradecimiento por su amor and por su apoyo. Will the spouses, partners, parents, children, grandparents, and siblings of the graduates please stand to receive our support and love. Where you are today, sitting here in this arena, would not have come to fruition if it weren't for the faculty and the staff of this university. So we also need a special round of applause for the faculty and the staff. They, together with you, make this university a very unique environment in which to work. Again, congratulations to each and every one of you, and I wish you all luck.
Mr. Pedro Rivera, Student Government Association President, will lead us in a closing reflection. We will then all join Mrs. Dana Crabtree in singing the Alma Mater. Gentlemen, please remove your hats during Mr. Rivera's closing reflection. Commencement ends with the Alma Mater, but I would ask the audience to please remain seated as the stage party, the faculty, and the students recess out of the building. There'll be plenty of time for pictures outside the Ames Auto Arena.
We would like to invite all alumni, family, and friends to dedicate this time for a moment of silence, meditation, or prayer. As we gather this afternoon in celebration of our academic accomplishment, we are grateful for the completion of this stage of our lives and for the opportunities and challenges that lie ahead. We acknowledge all those events over the past years, the joys, the hard work, and even the difficulties, at times accompanied by sadness. For without them, we wouldn't be the men and women that we are today. We ask for the strength to change our global landscape, for strength of mind and spirit to productively coexist with our fellow human beings, and for achieving peaceful solutions for our global problems. May our new alumni never forget this part of their lives, and may our efforts prove fruitful. Go in peace. Thank you.
May you please stand for the alma mater.
Stately towers above the plain stands our noble alma mater, wisdom raised for all to gain, binding nations, hearts and visions, aspirations ever new. Hail to thee, our alma mater, hail to thee, dear TAMIU. Here 'neath sun and gentle breezes, dove and deer lodge safely by. May thy children safe in wisdom flourish ever 'neath thy sky. Pledge we faith and homage ever, joined in our diversity. May time never efface the memory of our university, binding nations, hearts and visions, aspirations ever new. Hail to thee, our alma mater, hail to thee, dear TAMIU.
Bonito Tecalitlán con sus mujeres hermosas, bonito Tecalitlán con sus mujeres hermosas. Cuando me salí a bailar el son de las mariposas, pero ay, qué gusto me da de acordarme de esas cosas. Ay, 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 Tecalitlán. A las 2 de la mañana soy un mariachi tocar. A las 2 de la mañana soy un mariachi tocar. El internacional que andaba por el portal, llevándole serenata a las rosas del lugar. Ay, 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 Tecalitlán. Ya con esta me despido de mi santo, paro el plan. Ya con esta me despido de mi santo, paro el plan. De las muchachas bonitas de allá de Tecalitlán, pasando por Tamazula y también Ciudad Guzmán. Ay, 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 Tecalitlán.
Reboso, reboso de Santa María, mestizas que bailan llenas de alborozo, entre los encantos mil de mi vaquería. Albarrazas blancas, brocal de los pozos, casitas de paja de la tierra mía. Albarrajas blancas, brocal de los pozos, casitas de paja de la tierra mía. Muchacha bonita, zapato de raso bordado de seda te voy a comprar. Va a ser más graciosa, más vivo tu paso y serás más ágil para zapatear. Vámonos pa' la jarrana, vamos a ganar lugar, que hoy en la noche y mañana tendremos que zapatear. Saca tu terno bonito y tu cinta colorada, quiero que estés bien peinada cuando bailes el torito. ágil para zapatear.